everyone. So today I am going to talk about something that I don't think has been talked about for quite a while. Literally, one of the most essential portion of your fishing gears would be your fishing rod. So, so what actually happens nowadays that I notice from the time I came back, actually is that people will just go into a fishing rod, a fishing shop, say like this is a fishing shop. I take up a rod, something like this, and what I'll do next is I would just flick it. Oh, this rod is light, this rod is good, or it fits me, or it's a fast action rod, and stuff like that. So everything is about feel. So having said that, when I was fishing back then, there was more than the feel of the rod. There was things like uh, finding the spine of the rod, uh, locating the spine of the rod, whether the off the shelf rod spine is it a vertical straight spine, because at the end of the day, well placed guides along the spine of the rod will actually enable you to have a better lifting power. It helps you in the setting of hooks and stuff like that. So and then many years after I started fishing, I went into a bit of a rod building phase, right? So I'm just going to share today, based on my experience again, how to actually locate the spine of your fishing rod, be it a custom rod or off the shelf rod, right? So this is a very short session. Might be wrong to many others expert, but this is my opinion. But this is basically my sharing on how to locate a good fishing rod with a solid backbone, and it will last you for ages, and you'll definitely feel the power difference when you're lifting the rod. So let's start it now. Right, people will just go to the rod, stand, pick up a rod, do a few flick. This is light, this is good, I like the action. Okay, I'm gonna buy this. And 200 or a couple $100 or $50 just go out the window, right? And then when they fish and they hit a big fish, and many a times I'm sure you realize that, especially when you hit a big fish, as the rod flex, sometimes you notice that the rod tips and stuff like that at the very end tends to off center itself to the right or to the left. So why? What's the reason? It's the only reason is because the rod guides weren't placed properly directly on the dominant spine of the fishing rod. Basically, just like a human body, we have a spine, right? We can only flex to a certain amount like that before naturally we will tend to come up. So if we have the same theory as a fishing rod, for example, a bait caster rod this way, this is the spine. As it tends to go beyond what it needs to go, right? The spine here, as it goes beyond what it needs to go, naturally it comes back, right? It's just like a rubber band. So the pressure here literally brings it back. So the spine of the backbone, if it's placed properly, will enable a more direct power pull. Let's say it's down here, you really pull the fish back to you, more powerful, and set hooks better, rather than if it's off center fishing rod. Maybe when you fight, you notice that you just tend to sway to the left more, and you will not have the right power to pull the fish back or to set the hook and stuff. So choosing a rod with a proper spine. So how do you do it? So this is my way of doing it. I have a few rods here. I'm going to take two out for example. So this is actually a no brand fishing rod called SRC. It's a bait caster 2-piece rod, right? We put it together. So what I do is I will tend to face the line up, the guides up, or face the guides down, face the guides down, and making sure that the trigger grip at the bottom is pointing vertical to the sky, right? So imagine if a fish were to flex, take the bait, naturally your rod will flex. So what I'm trying to do is find the point of action, press it down, and above here press it up, and you roll your rod. Okay, you roll your rod, you will find that the rod will snap in place. There will be a point where you roll, you just automatically always snap in one particular place. Done everything correctly, this thing should have face up, meaning that the spine is actually vertically around here. But the moment I press and I roll my rod, if you notice, always snaps to the left or to the right, and it's always almost a 90 degree, right? It means that this spine of the rod was laid off center by a good 90 degrees, right? So basically this means that when you really have a big fish on this rod, you're not utilizing the full power, the full lifting power of this rod in terms of setting hook. Okay, so this is an off-the-shelf rod, right? Obviously, if you have a custom rod, you want them to make sure you lay the guides properly on the spine itself, so you have ample lifting power and stopping power for the fish. So this is the Rapala Valsky, also off-the-shelf rod, but if you look at the difference of this rod, I'm going to roll it now. The trigger is up. I'm going to press it down and roll. You notice that as much as I roll it, there's always almost there to facing the sky. You know, you can't basically fault. I mean, it's just a little minute, a bit off, but then again, for off-the-shelf rod, you're not paying a custom rod. I guess this rod is pretty decent for its price that you pay. You see, so you're going to get maximum loading power when the fish pull. The whole power will be vertically along this spine, right? So for fish set, you're going to set the hook well, and you're going to have a good backbone spine. So again, every off-the-shelf rod that you get will be different, because they just put it through the machinery. It's just going to tie whatever kind of things up, right? It's not going to have, not every single rod will be tested for its spine by itself, right? So this rod, I will use it because it's going to give me a lot of ample power, right? Again, this is actually a $50 rod that I bought off Decathlon yesterday. Didn't expect much, but doing the same theory, okay, I'm going to set it even from face the trigger grip up. My backbone is supposed to be aligned in full, and this is what happens. Yeah, I'm going to roll it, and you see immediately, even from the side, as I roll it down and apply pressure, the trigger grip just snaps back into place. Even if I start it from the side or the below, it goes there. So this rod, I was surprised for $50. It had a very good backbone. So despite the brand by Krapelan, which I have not known before, it's a medium heavy rod, I just grab it for $55, because it's hard to find a rod with a very good backbone setting off the shelf. So having said that, I think that's pretty much it. You want to find a rod, be it custom or not, that the backbone is aligned to the guides vertically behind where you are, so that when you strike into a fish and you're pulling it in, the backbone really sits on the power that you're just lifting the fish up. So the rod will work for you, the setting of hook will work for you. If it's off center, you're going to have it a bit softer. You're going to find that your rod tips start to twist and stuff like that. So that's something that you're going to try to avoid. So I hope that this little tip, right, on sourcing your rod will actually help you out. You could do the flipping, it feels nice, it feels light and stuff like that, but the importance of a very well constructed rod with well placement of the guides along the spine is something that I think not many people have been doing, and therefore I'm sharing. So this is how I go about looking at rods, finding the right ones, and yeah, I hope it helped you guys too. Till then, see you. My kid's knocking on the door. Bye.